Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 2 Part 4. We're about to see what is by far the worst level in the entire game, possibly the worst level in the entire Mega Man franchise. This level is God. This level is the worst. Where do I begin? Well, for one, if you run out of like E-Tanks, which you will be using a lot of E-Tanks this level, if you run out of E-Tanks, you can't get any more really this level, so you're pretty much stuck trying to play this level without using any E-Tanks. You have to keep continuing for this level, and then that just becomes pretty much impossible. You need to be a really good master at that to do something like this. This level is a perfect example of all the BS stuff this game does. The boss of this level is also very BS too. The most bull crap boss in any Mega Man game imaginable is in this level. This level is the reason why I didn't really like Mega Man 2 that much when I was a kid. I mean, it's still a good game, but this level is like the worst part of the entire game. But is it really fair to say a game is really bad because the level of it is bad, or because something there's a few things in it is bad? One bad apple doesn't spoil a bunch. One bad level in a game doesn't make a whole game bad, am I right? At least that's what I think. I don't think this one level should ruin the rest of the game. This is a pretty otherwise good game overall. The music is good, the gameplay's good. I already said what's so good about this game. If you watched my previous videos, you would have seen the best of this game. The best of this game has already come. We've already seen what the best of what this game has to offer. So now we're gonna see the worst of what this game has to offer. There's spikes there. There's gonna be invisible, like some of those floors have like invisible holes and we'll fall through. But we could get through that easy using item 2 here, so we can dash across here, so we're not going to fall into those spikes. There's an E-Tank there, but I'm not going to bother to get it. It's too challenging to get that there. I think I already have a maxed out of E-Tank. I think we're already maxed out of E-Tanks anyways. So there's no real point. It's just putting it there to be like to put you through a huge challenge, and it's gonna. And when you game over, have to continue, you lose all your E-Tanks in this game too, which makes this even more challenging. If this game wasn't already challenging enough, it's even more challenging, which is something they don't do in the later games. Mega Man 3 was a huge improvement over this game overall, I think. Same with Mega Man's 4, 5, and 6. Those games were by all means better games than this one. Sure, people think it's cliche at this point. Why they keep making Mega Man games in the NES exactly the same over and over again, or mostly the same kind of stuff over and over again, but it's good, and sometimes if you have something that's good, you should stick with it. Maybe that's what Capcom did. Why fix what isn't broken? Don't fix what isn't broken. If you have something good, why improve it? Maybe that's kind of what they thought. Because I think those later Mega Man games are way better. On the NES, are way better than this one. So pretty much it's like that. That's kind of like that platforming in Guts Man stage, only there aren't any, like, gaps where it's gonna fall off, so you're gonna fall through and hit the spikes or something like that. Instead, it's actually more challenging than that, because it keeps curving around all these enemies. And the Metal Blade, I feel like I got stuck in the ladder there. The Metal Blade is the best kind of weapon to use against these tellies, because they come at you from all 8 directions. The Metal Blade can shoot through all of them in all 8 directions. And I've been using this Metal Blade nonstop. I even forgot to add an energy level. I forgot that it had limited energy, and yet I'm still using it, and it's like, I don't think I'll ever run out of stuff. I could keep using this stuff all the time and never refill it once, and I would still have a lot of energy left over by the time you get to the end of the game. And it's still playing that very intimidating music it started playing in the previous Wily stage. There's no epic music anymore. We're past the epicness of this game. We're now at the very intimidating part of this game. This game's gonna become quite intimidating. Oh look, it's one of those things. We can destroy that easy with the quick boomerang. See a quick boomerang and he's dead. You can destroy these things easy with quick boomerang. This is why quick boomerang is the second best weapon in the game. It does what the Metal Blade can never be able to do. But of course, there's gonna be a boss gauntlet at the end of this game, as there are in pretty much every Mega Man game ever made. And the Metal Blade, as I said before, is the weakness for most of the robot masters in this game. You destroy his mech easy and then destroy him, and these enemies are cheap. They rarely ever give you any good stuff. That one gave me a full health tank, and there aren't really any checkpoints in this level either. If you get killed, you're gonna try to start all the way back at the beginning of the level again. So this is why this level sucks. For one, you have to use a crash bomb for the entire level. And if you make one mistake, you have to start this whole thing all over again, and it doesn't refill your energy either, so you have to grind for more energy. That's freaking annoying. And then they shoot at you, and it's really hard to dodge the shots. You're gonna be having to use your E-Tanks a lot, and if you run out of E-Tanks and that's it, then you're pretty much dead, then. So you have to be careful of how you of how you, like, if you have to plan your shots really carefully. Make one little mistake and it's game over, pretty much. And then you have to start the whole game over again. At least start off over the Wily Stage 1 all over again. You have to re-grind for all those E-tanks you won't be having anymore. This whole level ruins the game, or this level does ruin a lot of what is an otherwise good game. This whole level's a piece of crap in a bowl of otherwise perfectly good lemonade. That's exactly what this whole level is. I hate this level. This is the worst part of the entire game. But at the same time, it does give you a strong sense of accomplishment if you can beat this level, because beating this level definitely is considered to be a big accomplishment. Then again, what is a big accomplishment? Some people consider almost anything to be an accomplishment. And so, and there, but we got it. This definitely is a big accomplishment. People don't have high expectations for accomplishments would say that this is a pretty big accomplishment there. I had to practice that a few times before I actually, or at least once or so before I got it right. But again, I actually remembered a lot of this from way back in the day. I used to play this game a lot. Same for all the other Mega Man games. I always sweat buckets when I play that level out of fear. But now, here we are, the second last level of the game. And oh look, it's our regularly scheduled boss gauntlet. Let's go through these bosses. First up, it's Heat Man. Okay, I remember how to deal with this guy. Their weaknesses are the same as they were before. And this boss gauntlet is pretty much how the standard for how boss gauntlets are going to be for the rest for most Mega Man games made after this one, where they're all in those little capsules and you have to go in each and every single capsule and fight them. You can fight them in any order. It doesn't really matter what order you fight them in, because you have all their weaknesses. At this point, you would have every weapon in the game at this point, so... And I'm sure you could get through this game without using any E-tanks if you were, like, really a good master at this game, but unfortunately, I'm not a good master at this game. I used to watch this guy called Rome Mithril. He was an absolute god at these games. He used to be able to beat all of these games without taking at least the Robot Master stages, without taking a single hit. He actually did go for all these levels without taking a single hit. I don't know how he did it. That guy must... I don't know what puts up with him. Maybe he secretly did something to the games to make them easier, I don't know. But I doubt that's the case. He's probably just a god. He's way better than I'll ever be at these kinds of games. Heck, most people can never beat any of these games without getting hit once. And so it's barely human possible. You have to have like an inhuman sense of like coordination and planning and strategy and knowing what the enemy's going to do at any given time. Bubble Man's actually easier here because there aren't any spikes on the ceiling this time around. Oh look, it's Quick Man. Hey, we actually used Quick Man's weakness on him this time. It couldn't last time because I used it up. But now, there. It's kind of a weakness, that makes any sense, or a wimpy way to fight him. All it does is just freezes him and just takes off half of his health somehow, because freezing him takes away half his health. And the rest, I can just use the plasma shot to take out the rest of this guy. Yeah, Quick Man. All these Robot Masters. That's the problem I have with this game. I find the difficulty of the bosses in this game is kind of inconsistent. Some bosses, like that one we just saw before, are hard as hell. And then these bosses, or a lot of the other bosses in these Wily stages, are actually pretty easy. It's very, like, it's very, like, how do I say it? It's very inconsistent. In terms of that's everything I don't like about this game. Mega Man 2 is, yeah, that's for sure. Mega Man 2, yeah, it has its merits. It's a good game overall, but it definitely has its weaknesses too. That's why it's my least favorite game in the series. And though, look, here's another weakness you couldn't really use the first time around. Metal Man's weakness is his own weapon. Most of the time, if you use a Robot Master's weapon on themselves, it gives you that look like, are you really that stupid? And might not do anything to them at all. Flash Man, we know what his weakness is. The same weakness as Metal Man. A lot of the other Robot Masters in the game, at least 4 Robot Masters in this game, are weak against the Metal Blade. And now we're going after the first 2 forms of the final boss. Yeah, there's technically 3 forms of the Wily Capsule 2. It's supposed to be a more upgraded version of that Wily battle we saw in the first game. I don't think it's weak against any weapon we have. I think the only really way you can fight this thing is by using the plasma shot. No weapon we have is weak against it, unlike in Mega Man 1. And there's no pause trick in this game either. I checked. The select button does absolutely nothing in this game, so don't try using that, like, select pause thing. There's only one pause in this game. It's when it takes you to the inventory select screen, and that one doesn't really work a lot of the time. It does malfunction a lot of the time. I noticed that the start button doesn't work very much. I don't know if that's just something my emulator, or maybe that's how it was in the real game. I don't know. I never played this on a real NES before, but I trust my emulator. I'm using the Nestopia emulator, which is one of the emulators that comes in RetroArch right now for Windows. That's what I'm using to play this. But if in there, we defeated the first part of the Dr. Wily final boss of Wily Cats. There's going to be one more level. It's a really short level. It's actually not that hard, too, if you know what to do. And then we're going to be fighting Wily for the last time in this game. Yeah, they're always like dead to you. Ooh, look, there's another level, a secret another level hiding over there. That's when you thought the game was over. There's a lot more. And look at that. This music is pretty good, actually. I love the music in this level. It's complete total silence. Sometimes silence is good music sometimes. So those things do a crap load of damage if they hit you, so try not to let that mutant red stuff, that red goop stuff hit you. So I'm just gonna walk through here and try not to get hit. Yep, I didn't get hit once by those things. It's actually kind of easy to dodge these, actually. Why am I complaining? This game already did give me a lot of trouble with that other boss. There's only one way you could possibly fight the final boss, and you have to use Bubble Man's weapon, which is really energy efficient, probably just as energy efficient as the Metal Blade. So Dr. Wily's gonna jump out of his spacesuit, he's gonna transform into, look at that. Dr. Wily just transformed into an alien. Is Dr. Wily an alien or something like that? But the only weapon that does damage to him is the bubble weapon. The bubble shooter weapon is the only thing that could possibly damage him. Yeah, you know final boss is a wuss when the only thing that possibly damage them are bubbles. Whoever thought of that? The most challenging boss in the entire game. Well, he's actually not the hardest boss in the game. Like, the final boss of this game would be weak against bubbles. We've seen so much stuff in this game, and yet bubbles are the way to beat the game against the final boss. It looks like we're going into space, too. Like, some room it's like space. Like, ooh, is this supposed to... I imagine this would have looked even more intimidating if you're playing this on an NES in 1988 or 1989 or whenever this game came out. But now, a lot of people would say this doesn't seem so impressive anymore. He only has like a sliver of his health left. Yeah, look, I just destroyed him. And look, we were in some sort of VR room, some VR simulation room or something like that, where Mega Man's flickering hard. It is flickering so fast because he can't take all of this sprite manipulation of these graphics. See, Dr. Albert Einstein Wily is at the controls right now, and yeah, somehow shooting a lot of bubbles at that thing destroyed his machine. He's just gonna jump out and bow down to us again, because as he admits defeat, we defeated Dr. Wily again. Oh, please, Mega Man, spare my life, will you? I'll consider that. And then it just goes to the ending of the game, which is just credits, pretty much a Mega Man walking away from Wily's thing. And it's supposed to be like this game was set over the course of a year. It took over the course of the year to get through this game, which is why it walks through. You can see it's the fall right now. It's supposed to be like fall where all the leaves are orange. There's some sort of mountain to see. It's probably in Japan or somewhere like that. Then it becomes winter time. So Japan has some pretty good mountains. There's snow everywhere. And Mega Man's abilities like somehow correspond with the different seasons things that they're trying to imply. And then it becomes spring where Mega Man is using the quick boomerang or something like that, and he's walking through the spring, and then it's gonna transition now to the wet, rainy season, I think. I don't know how the seasons work in Japan. Does Japan have the same kind of seasons that we have in North America, or places like that? And then it becomes summer, I think. I think that's supposed to imply that summer where all the leaves are green, and the green Japanese village or wherever it is that Mega Man... I don't even know. Does Mega Man live in Japan, or does he live in America? I think he lives in America, actually, now come to think of it. I don't know. I have no idea where in the world he actually lives. He just drops his helmet off there in the grassy knoll. It's gonna go into credits, or it's gonna play the title screen music to the game again. It's gonna tell us all the Robot Masters number 9. Yeah, it's the 9th robot in this game. Master we've dealt with is Metal Man. The 10th one is Airman. It's continuing the counting from the first, because we dealt with the... No, wait. Yeah, well, we dealt with 6 of them in the first game, and then there were some other robots, too, from the first game as well, too. I think that's what it's trying to imply, like it's like counting forward from all the robots or it's like a character count or something that including the ones from the first game, which is why it started at number 9, I think, or so. There were 6 Robot Masters in the first game, plus there was Rock and Roll, which are Dr. Light's creations too. Now these are Dr. Wily's creations, or maybe they are Dr. Light's creations. Or maybe they're counting them as Dr. Light's creations because Wily plagiarized them from Dr. Light or something like that. Or for something else, I don't know. So it's going to show us the names of all the people who worked on this game. Yep, Tom Bond, he was a character designer in this game. AK, yeah, they didn't give him a full name, so they just named him AK. Sound programmer, some names. Oh look, Yuki-chan's Papa also did the sound program. Yuki-chan didn't do the sound program to this. His Papa did that, so we gotta thank him for that too, for making sure this game had really good music. Programmer, someone named HMD did the programming. AK was a planner. All the same people do the same work on this game. But it's good that they worked on this game. This game is pretty, like I said before, this is a decent game overall. The exception that one awful level of this game is otherwise pretty good. Even that one level kind of ruined some of the other levels of the game and ruined Slavi enjoying this game. It's still a pretty decent game overall. Especially the Robot Master stages and the first 2 Wily stages and stuff too, that's really good. Hey look, Fishman worked on this game. Someone named Fishman. Is that some sort of superhero or something like that? He sounds like a superhero that'd be big in Japan since they eat a lot of fish in Japan. presented by Capcom USA. Not Capcom Europe, not Capcom Japan, but Capcom USA presented this game to us. So you have to thank Capcom USA for that. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.